Um, so I'm going to also just make sure that everyone is muted, because the way these recordings work is if someone is unmuted and you jiggle your chair, it changes the camera, and that's often a bit awkward. So welcome. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this series. I was asked to do mindfulness, and just to note that the topics mindfulness and meditation and trauma release, there was one more, I can't remember what it was, but they're very interrelated. So in some ways it's hard to tease them apart. So you may find that there is some overlap between what you experience with me and with other folks. I don't want to talk a lot about what mindfulness is, but mostly take us into some practices. As we begin, so as a first piece, I want to just invite us into a way of becoming present to ourselves. This is a little just basic practice that often we use with groups, but often with just self. And using your hands like this, you can either just float them in the air. Some people like to do it right on their lap. If you're sitting, you can put it so that your hands, so basically you're going to be doing this kind of a motion. And I'll just say the few words that go with it. It's, I am here, here I am, right here, right now, open. So again, if that sense of the touch on your lap helps bring you to that presence, you can do it that way, or some people just like to float their hands. I am here, here I am, right here, right now, open. I am here. Here I am, right here, right now, open. So I invite you to say these words. I am here. Here I am, right here, right now, open. I am here. Here I am, right here, right now, open. Mindfulness is really about being present in the moment that you're in. And in our culture, we so often are not. We're thinking about what's coming up. We're thinking about what has been. We come to sit in quiet and find ourselves going through the laundry list of things that, or the shopping list of things that we have to do. And that's just normal. Our minds work. Even when we're just doing simple tasks, washing the dishes, our mind is often on something other than the dishes. And so mindfulness is really a practice of being in the moment, in the presence of ourselves, of what it is that we're doing, and with the people with whom we are in the moment. The practice that we're going to do today is really kind of a sitting practice. It's a little bit of an embodiment, but mindfulness can be done anytime. Again, doing the dishes, bringing yourself to the presence of the feel of the water, of thinking about what was this dish used for, the meal, the preparation, the cleaning, just being with it, thanking the water as you're washing the dish. It can be when you're eating, really tasting the food that you're eating, savoring the salt, the sweet, the complexities of flavors as you're eating, the textures, really being with the food. That is a moment of mindfulness. Walking, putting your devices away, turning off podcast and listening to the world as you're walking. I often invite people to take time to walk in the neighborhood that they're familiar with, without a device, without conversation with someone, and just notice the neighborhood. Do it over the course of several days and see what changes. This time of year in my neighborhood, it changes daily because flowers are starting to bloom. The daffodils, first the spears come up and then the flowers open. But often when we're just walking, we're paying attention to what's in our head and not what's in the world. Part of the practice of mindfulness in our bodies is noticing what is happening in our bodies, what emotions we're carrying, the physicality in our bodies. And when we are not paying attention, not noticing, sometimes we're not allowing ourselves to actually process the emotions that are happening. And so mindfulness practices that are embodied help us to be in touch with ourselves. I'm going to invite you to just take a moment as you're sitting in your chair to really feel your feet on the ground, to notice the pressure of your legs in the chair, to feel the way your body is sitting. Maybe your hands are on the arm of a chair, maybe they're on your lap. So really noticing the sensations of those pressures, your feet on the floor, the back of the chair, on the back of your legs. You might even rock your feet a few times just to feel that connection to the ground. And simply begin to notice that you're breathing. So often we do not notice our own breath. In and out. As you're breathing, notice the feel of the air around you on your skin. Is it cool? Is it warm? Can you feel the texture of your clothing? What do you hear? What sounds are around you? Can you smell anything? Maybe someone has put on incense, or you can smell the lingering coffee. What do you smell? What do you see in the space that you're in? Can you see out a window? Can you sense the corners of your room? And as you take your next inhale, notice the brush of air as it passes the tip of your nose. And on the next inhale, follow that brush of air as it passes the tip of your nose and through your nostrils. And on the next inhale, the brush of air passes the tip of your nose and through your nostrils and brushes the back of your throat. And on the next inhale, follow that air past your tip of your nose, through your nostrils, the back of your throat. Feel as it enters your lungs